We first learned about Nazareth Home in July of 2004. The caseworker came from the Department of Children and Family and told us there was a little boy that we might be able to foster and that they would be able to possibly have permanency for him so that we might be able to adopt him. So she came to our home first, and then she set up a meeting with Sister Barbara, and then we came here and met Colin for the first time in July of 2004.
And when we met Colin for the first time, he was kind of shy, which he's still shy, but every time that we would leave, it was very hard, especially for Dion. Like Sister Barbara used to say, she didn't know who cried the most, Dion or Colin. And he was like that every time we came until we took him home.
The first time we saw Colin was July of 2004. He was not even a year old. I just told Jeff he was the most beautiful child I ever saw. We had tried to adopt children before that, perhaps private adoption and everything, and we had had a lot of problems. And when we met Colin, he was just smiling. He was the cutest thing. I just fell in love with him right away.
One day I received a call from one of the caseworkers asking me if I would take a child that was very fragile. She was at St. Margaret's, and I should go over there and see her and determine if we would be able to help her at Nazareth Home. Well, I knew before I ever left that we were going to take her. But when I went in there to see her, she was just laying there, and she was very fragile. She had tubes all over her, and so I went home. I visited with her, and then I went home and told the rest of the staff, and I took one or two of the staff along with me the next time to see her, and yes, we determined we were going to see her. So every day from that day when I first met her until she came to live at Nazareth Home, I would go every day to visit her. And some days she needed to have a bottle, and so I would feed her. But before that, she was on like a feeding tube, and so there wasn't much you could do. You couldn't pick her up. You could just kind of hold her hand and talk to her. And then as she got better, then she was able to take the bottle. So then I would feed her, but I could never leave before she went to sleep, because if I did leave before then, she would cry. And so the nurses would say, could you just stay until she goes to sleep? So I always did that. I think the most thing that sits with me and stays with me was when the Lears came and they already had Colin in hand. So they said, Jeff told me one day, he said, I want a girl. And I said, I have a little girl for you. Just come to the birthday party. We were having a party on Sunday. Come to the birthday party and I will give her to you. And he walked in, and I could still see him standing by the high chairs. And so I went and got her, and I said, here, Jeff, here's your girl. And she went, and she snuggled up to him, and that was it. He said, okay, we're taking her.
We're meant to be our children, and Bella was just a tiny little thing, and she fought so hard. She was in a NICU and all that when she was born, before she even came to Nazareth Home. So she's come a long way since she was a tiny little thing when she was here. So I don't know what I'd do without him now. I love him so much.
Some of my friends know that I'm adopted, but some don't, because I haven't really told them. Sometimes they ask and sometimes they don't. It's not really that important. It's just like having a birth mother, so birth parents to me. Like, I don't really care about if I'm adopted or not. It's just, they're still your parents. Parents are very great parents. They're very kind and giving. They feed me every day, and they get me toys, and they make sure I get home from school okay, and they're just really nice parents.
I appreciate my family because I appreciate what they do for me. They care for me and they love me. They are wonderful parents to me. I have a really good relationship with my brother. He fights with me, but I love him though.
When Colin and Bella in our lives has changed us so much. They give us a lot of joy because of all the things that we get to watch them grow up and learn and be the first ones to see a lot of it. And now that they're getting older, they're starting to do more and more things with their friends, but yet they're still close to us. No matter what, they still want to be with us. They want to go places with us. And we try to enrich their life with as much as we possibly can.
It's where children have a chance to be loved, and this is a place where children can be free without worrying about anything.